Talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. The entire cradle-to-grave mentality that has dominated our modern era has to be the most egregiously wasteful way of thinking and acting our species has ever descended to. After millennia of living in relative harmony with the natural cycles that keep life going on this planet, we somehow got it into our heads that it was okay to break the cycle and simply throw things away, often after only one use. No more repairing things, no more a stitch in time saves 9, no more true conservatism through conservation of resources of value and values, no more putting things back in their proper places, just buy, use, and discard. Somewhere along the way, we broke our thinking up into a woefully deficient binary model of the world that had in it 2 categories of people, producers and consumers. And that's just not the way the world works. In the 20th century, American futurist Alvin Toffler, author of Future Shock, worried about this publicly and told his audiences after the first Earth Day that we needed to turn back into prosumers, creatures that produce as they consume, turning the products of consumption back into production inputs. Now, he wasn't the first, and he wouldn't be the last. In the late 19th century, German economists Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels studied the situation whereby nutrients produced in the countryside on farms were being exported to London to be consumed by urban dwellers and then flushed and dumped into the Thames River and out to sea, and wrote papers decrying this loss of natural capital, this depletion of organic capital stock, claiming it would create a metabolic rift that would eventually ruin civilization. And they weren't wrong. In the 21st century, we have American architect and designer William McDonough and German chemist John Braugart launching a whole new field, industrial ecology, which attempts to heal the metabolic rift. And they launched it through their seminal books, Cradle to Cradle, Remaking the Way We Make Things, and The Upcycle, Beyond Sustainability, Designing for Abundance, which are 2 of the primary texts in this course. I remember getting my first 2 copies of Cradle to Cradle when I was in graduate school at UCLA in the early 2000s. My first I threw as a joke into the Pacific Ocean at a bonfire beach party at graduation, declaring to my cohort, "Let us send this book off like a message in a bottle to some desert island where they can use it as a blueprint to make a new civilization that knows no trash." Unfortunately, it sunk and we couldn't find it again. My second copy I brought with me to Iceland while investigating renewable energy and thermocouple electricity production at an eco-village outside Reykjavik. And I sat reading from it at 3 in the morning to enthusiastic urban planners in the Blue Lagoon thermal pool heated by a beautiful, clean geothermal electric plant that had no emissions. Why was I able to do this? I mean, read from the book in a swimming pool? Because Cradle to Cradle isn't printed on paper, and no trees were harmed or wasted in the making of this book. Cradle to Cradle lives up to its name. It's made from recycled plastic, and is the one thing made from plastic that you never want to throw away, and that you hope will last forever. The knowledge of how to base a civilization on zero waste upcycling through industrial ecology. Here, watch. This is one book you can keep reading after sea level rise turns us into the next Atlantis. But perhaps if we apply what we learned from it in time, things won't have to get that far. In this module, you will explore industrial ecology in depth.